Hello, I'm Clark Crawford, and welcome back to my latest live stream here on Clark Crawford Sports. We're here going to be recapping the Astros versus Tiger series, which the Astros took 2 out of 3 in a big series for them as they improved their record to 15-5. So I'm here to discuss it, and I'm going to waste no time, so let's dive into it. On Friday night, Framber Valdez and the Astros won the game 5-2, where Framber went 7 innings, gave up 6 hits, 2 earned runs while striking out 4. The Astros had a big 4-run eighth inning to win the game 5-2. It was their 14th win on the year, and Josh Hader also got his 5th save on the year. A nice win, a nice series win that we're also going to get into later. But nonetheless, it was a good game. They knocked it off, or they got some timely hits in the 8th inning, especially. And of course, Kyle Tucker early in the 6th inning hit his 12th home run on the year. He's been red hot, just popping homers. He's only hitting 270, but Kyle Tucker is red hot. So hats off to Tucker and the team for a big 8th inning where they strung together some hits and whatnot, just hitting the ball all over the yard and just put it all together. They had an RBI single by Yordan Alvarez scoring Jose Altuve. Jeremy Pena knocked in Kyle Tucker. Bregman's fielder's choice scored Alvarez, and Diaz's sac fly scored Singleton to win the game 5-2. A good win and a much needed win as well. They've struggled a lot of the year, and there's no other way to put it. They got to start bringing together wins. They are 4th in the AL West, which I'll get into later on with the division standings, but they are hopefully turning a corner as since May 1st, and well, it was a good win. So that kicks off one of the highlights of the video or of my live stream. And now we get to the lows of the live stream, and that's, well, Saturday night's game did not go as well as they were hoping. Christian Javier had a blow-up of a game in his first start in over 3 weeks, and it didn't go well. He had one minor league rehab start last week in Corpus. He did okay, throwing about 70 pitches. Well, he didn't even get to make it to 70 pitches. He only made it to 50 because he had a good first inning. And then, of course, if any of you saw the game, well, he kind of blew up, and I mean blew up, in the second inning, giving up 7 runs. I was out doing things yesterday. I jump in the car, and it's 1-0, and I'm sitting here going, all right, the Astros might have a chance of doing something. And then, well, all of a sudden, the Tigers score the first run as I get in the car. And then next thing you know, the grand slam by Mark Canha, and then another 2-run homer from Kerry Carpenter. And bam, it was 7-0 within the first 5 minutes of getting the car. So maybe I was bad luck yesterday. I have no idea what the heck happened. They tried to string together a couple runs, which they did in the 4th inning to make it, at the time, 7-2. But then the Tigers come back and score 1 in the 4th, and that was it. They did have 8 hits, which seemed to be a positive sign. They put a few runners on base, and they also had 2 walks. So they had 10 runners on base throughout the game, but it was nowhere near enough. And, well, they just got the doors beaten off of them as Tariq Skubal is now 5-0 on the year. Way to get to him. And, well, they got the 2 runs in the 4th inning. But other than that, Skubal struck out 7 Astros, and he was pretty dominant for much of that game. So a bad loss there against a solid Tigers team who now after the series are 20-20. So at least they have a 500 record, unlike our Houston Astros. Well, through 40 games, they have 15 wins. And I doubt any of us saw this coming. But nonetheless, here we are. I mean, that's just the kind of team they are right now. They're a bad baseball team, but there's still time to turn it around. And another note from Saturday's game before I get into Sunday's, and some other notes that need to be addressed. Well, the other highlight of the Saturday game, which there were a couple of highlights, and I'm going to get to them right now. one of the highlights was Alex Bregman had a hit, 1 for 4 with the run scored. I know that's not much of a highlight, but it's hopefully a positive sign for Alex Bregman, who's been struggling mightily. Um, he's he's been struggling mightily. There's no other way to put it. He sucked so far this year, and hopefully this is him digging himself out of the hole that he's really put him and contributed to the hole the team has been in. And of course, Yainer Diaz had 2 hits as well. So another highlight of Saturday's game, as well as Jeremy Pena, 2 for 3 with the run scored. He's been outstanding so far this year with his bat. That swing change, as I've talked about several times in my other videos, is really working out for him. Now, is Jeremy Pena going to hit close to 350 for the whole year? Most likely not. He's not a generational player like a Ty Cobb or a Ted Williams, but Jeremy Pena has been pretty good over his major league career. Not a 350 hitter, but maybe he could hit about 280, 290 on the year, which would be huge regardless. I mean, it's not quite 350, but Jeremy Pena hit north of 275, even with some struggles probably coming later in the year. Just those are just facts. I mean, I would take it considering he's been a lifetime, roughly about a 255 hitter so far. To raise your batting average over 20 points in 1 year is a nice significant jump. If he keeps going and going, believe me, I won't be complaining. Now, the last highlight of Saturday's action was Hunter Brown. Now, I know a lot of you are probably saying, why is he talking about Hunter Brown? But everyone who probably turned the game off yesterday after it was 8-2, well, Hunter Brown came in the 3rd inning. He went the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th innings, going 5 innings, giving up 1 run, 5 hits, and 7 strikeouts, throwing 85 pitches. This was easily Hunter Brown's best outing of the season that many people probably don't realize. So just it needs to be mentioned that Hunter Brown was excellent, and coming out of the bullpen, maybe that's the kind of wake-up call Hunter Brown needed for this season so far, because coming out of the bullpen sometimes fixes a pitcher, or coming off the bench, for a short period of time, sometimes fixes a player. So Hunter Brown, I don't know what's going on with him. I think he just needs to pump his fastball more for a few more strikes and not throw so many center cut fastballs, and I think he'll be just fine. He's had some extra time to work on his stuff, and clearly what he did in between his last start and his bullpen appearance yesterday might and hopefully have fixed things, as I expect Hunter Brown to be inserted back into the rotation with the game on Tuesday, entering the Astros 29 games in 30 days. Their next off day is not till the end of a 10-game homestand, which begins tomorrow. So their next off day will be the following Thursday, not this upcoming Thursday, but the next Thursday. That's a ton of games and a ton of days, considering all the pitching injuries. So I highly expect sometime later this week. I don't know the exact order of the rotation yet, because the Astros have it listed as TBA on Thursday. So maybe Hunter Brown slides back in on Thursday or even Friday. But expect a 6-man rotation, at least for the next couple weeks, to be coming for the ball club, because it just makes too much sense not to do it. Like I said, with all the injuries, and well, you might as well. And other news, with Christian Javier being activated, the Astros DFA'd Brandon Belak, which was kind of a surprising move, but I guess they feel with Urquidy even coming back soon, which he's going to begin a rehab today at Sugarland, along with Chas McCormick beginning rehab at Sugarland. A couple of guys got to go, and unfortunately for Brandon Belak, he's out of minor league options. So that's the downside to it. Thanks for his service, Brandon Belak, but he got DFA'd, and unfortunately that's what happened. So with that being said, I mean, he's gone, and somebody's likely going to claim him off waivers. Now, for whatever reason he's not claimed off waivers, he'll be returned to AAA Sugarland, because I know the Astros would love to keep him in their organization. It's just kind of one of those things. It was kind of time to cut ties, because they have other pitchers pitching better than him. Taylor Scott's been a nice addition to the bullpen so far this year that many of you didn't know his name coming into spring training. And, of course, Seth Martinez is having a great season. I know he wasn't great today. I'll talk about that here in a little bit. But Seth Martinez is having an outstanding year out of the bullpen as well. Now, I know I kind of went into a ramble there, but we need to get to Sunday, which is the game that just ended a little over an hour ago. This pitching matchup, as I predicted in my series preview, which if you missed it, go check it out. Justin Verlander versus Jack Flaherty. It would be the best pitching matchup of the series. And to be honest, for the most part, I think it lived up to the hype. Justin Verlander on the Astros side picks up his second win of the year, 2-1. He goes 7 innings, 2 hits, no earned, 8 strikeouts, and 2 walks on the game, improving the Astros record to 15-25, and the Tigers fall to 20-20. Justin Verlander easily his best start of the season as he lowers his season ERA to 3.38. Now, what I want to get to most in this game, which I saw a bunch of people on X just crying and complaining about Seth Martinez this, Seth Martinez that. Look, Seth Martinez entered the game when it was 9-0. Who cares that Seth Martinez gave up 3 runs in the ninth inning? But all I saw on social media was people crying, oh, get Seth Martinez out of the game. He sucks. He's this, he's that. Seth Martinez had a 1.8 ERA coming into today. So what if he gave up 3 runs in a mop-up role? Yeah, he threw 52 pitches, which isn't ideal, which means there's no way he's going to pitch for a couple of days. But to be honest, Seth Martinez has probably been your best reliever all year. It's kind of 1A and 1B with him and Taylor Scott. No big deal. Seth Martinez got his bad outing, and hopefully one of his only bad outings of the season, out of the way in a blowout. So all you people on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, shut up about Seth Martinez. He's been your best freaking reliever all season long, and he gives up 3 runs in a mop-up game. Who gives a crap? It's a meaningless game at that point. You're just trying to get out of the game. So in a closer game, yeah, Joe Espada, who y'all all need to shut up about as well. Joe Espada's doing a fine job managing. He's pushing buttons, and guys aren't pitching well or hitting well. Then, well, he's doing all he can. So, anyways, shut up about Joe Espada. But seriously, why do y'all always have to find something to complain and complain and complain about when the guy you shouldn't be complaining about is Seth Martinez? Even after today's 3 runs, he still has a 2.86 ERA, which is better than Justin Verlander. And they pitched about the same amount of innings on the season. Verlander a little bit more because he's a starter, but he has a better ERA than Justin Verlander. So all you people, shut up about Seth Martinez. He had one bad outing, and the Astros still won the game 9-3. So that's my little rant of people complaining and complaining and complaining on social media about Seth Martinez. He was just fine today. He struggled a little bit, but who cares? The Astros still won the game 9-3. So shut up about Seth Martinez. He's going to be fine. He probably just won't pitch. He definitely won't pitch tomorrow and maybe Tuesday, but he'll be available by Wednesday. But you still have the rest of the bullpen available tomorrow and Tuesday. So all of them got today, and Seth Martinez didn't. So the bullpen's going to be fine. And Seth Martinez has been excellent. So I'm going to be saying thank you, Seth Martinez, for kicking ass most of the season. So all you people complaining about Seth Martinez, shut up. He's going to be fine. He had one bad outing. Anyways, back to the rest of the game. Kyle Tucker, my favorite Astro, for all of you that know me, pitched his 13th home run, and it was a 2-run shot. He scored 1 run, his only hit of the day, but he also had 2 walks, upping his on-base percentage on the year to 397. Kyle Tucker now leads all of MLB with 13 home runs. So the Astros really need to pay Kyle Tucker because his price tag is going up and up by the day, especially with this season performance so far. So thank you, Kyle Tucker, for putting in the work, putting in the work, putting in the work. His 13 homers and 28 RBIs through the first 40 games are outstanding numbers. The only thing is, Kyle Tucker should have better stats because, well, I mean, realistically, he should probably have closer to 40 RBIs, at least 35 to 40 already. But most of his home runs have been solo homers because no one around him can get on base. He's also hitting a solid 271 on the year. If he's going to hit about 270 and be our leading home run guy, say 35 to 40 this year, only hitting 270 with a 370 plus on base percentage, I'll take that year after year after year. I just hope they pay Cal Tucker after the season. That's really the big dilemma right now. So thank you, Cal Tucker. Another home run today, helping spark the offense into a 9-3 victory. Also, Jake Myers comes off the bench, pinch hitting for Trey Cabbage in the seventh inning. And as the Astros scored 2 in the seventh, 4 in the eighth, and 1 in the ninth, that's 7 of your 9 runs. Jake Myers goes 3 for 3 today with 3 RBIs off the bench late in the game. That's one of the most unheard of stats that you don't see very often. Sometimes if you come in late as a pinch hitter, you're lucky to get 2 at bats. Jake gets 3 and goes 3 for 3. Now he doesn't necessarily do it with the power, but now Jake Myers' season average is up to 267. Alex Bregman's season average is 201. I'm not the biggest Jake Myers fan, but I definitely didn't have it on my bingo card for Jake Myers to be hitting 267 at this point in the season, a higher average than 201 Alex Bregman. That is a little shocking to me, but heck, I'll take it. Thank you, Jake Myers, stroking it, especially today. And of course, Mauricio Dubon, his first ever 4-hit game, goes 4 for 5 as well. And of course, I already highlighted Justin Verlander's 7 innings, 2 hits, and a season high 8 strikeouts. And the Astros butt whooping of the Detroit Tigers 9-3. Tigers scored all 3 runs in the ninth inning and mop up duty from Seth Martinez, who just ate it a little bit in the ninth inning. But Seth Martinez will be fine if you didn't already hear my rant. Anyways, the Astros win the series. Houston wins the series 2-1 against the Tigers, and they improved their record to 15-25, while the Tigers are now 20-20. Let's take a look at the AL West standings now. The Astros are in 4th place, percentage points ahead of the Angels, identical record at 15-25 with the Angels. The Oakland A's are 19-22. The Mariners are 21-19, and the Rangers are 22-19. Now, the other thing to note, Seattle leads Oakland 7-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. So, barring a miracle, Seattle should win that game against Oakland. Seattle is the home team. Kansas City, taking a look at the AL West standings for today's games, Kansas City leads the Angels 4-0 in the bottom of the 6th. The Angels are the home team. And the last game of the AL West, Colorado leads the Rangers 2-1. So that's something to note as well. The Astros could potentially gain a full game on the AL West leading Texas Rangers so far today, as the Rangers also coming in today have dropped 2 in a row. So the Rangers could find themselves with the 3-game losing streak after today. That's kind of huge for our Houston Astros because, well, the Rangers have been playing much better, number one, and number two, 22-20 Texas Rangers. That's only 5 games up in the loss column. So the Astros, for as bad as they've been, to potentially only be 6 games back in the division, that's huge. So, like I've been saying in all of my previous videos, everything going on, do not give up on this team. They're not that far back, and they've still got a lot of ground to make up, but the Astros are right there. And I'm telling you, don't give up on this team. Now, things don't always look pretty and everything, but nonetheless, they're still going to be fine. And I've been telling people this from the start, but you know what? It is what it is. It's been a slow start, but you have a lot of time left. The Astros have played 40 games so far on the season. And like I've been saying, there's still a lot of time left. After today's game, there's still 122 games to be played. 122 games, you have 15 wins. So at least I would say 90 wins is going to win your division. So you need to at least win 75 of those 122. And that's obviously a tough task, but it can be done. So how that's going to shape up, I have no idea. But the Astros, well, are probably going to have to play about 75 and 47 balls the rest of the way to win the AL West. If not, they might even have to get up to 80 wins, which would mean you have to go 80 and 42 the rest of the way with your 122 games left, which would be a tall task to get up to 95 wins. But nonetheless, you got 122 games left. And I believe if there's any team, I firmly believe, not just to go and be an Astros homer, even though I'm a big Houston Astros fan, but I firmly believe this Astros team is more than capable of going 80 and 42 the rest of the way. They're getting healthier, and knock on wood, hopefully they don't have many offensive injuries this year because the offense still needs to pick it up. They need a lot more games like today, so they're going to win games and win more games, which is obviously the objective here. They're going to need more offensive games like today, and they're going to need the offense to stay healthy. And hopefully, just like last season, Jas McCormick went on the IL early in the season, then came back and hit nearly 280, 290 the rest of the year. And that's when his power showed up. He had a similar hamstring injury, and then all of a sudden his power came back, which is what he had this year. He has no home runs so far on the year. Hopefully, we can get a good Jas McCormick the rest of the way when he comes back. As I mentioned earlier in this live stream, he's starting a rehab today at AAA Sugarland. In my Astros preview versus the A's, which is the next series that begins tomorrow, I'll have a new video out tomorrow previewing that series. I'll let y'all know how Jose Urquidy and Jas McCormick do as that game is still ongoing. I'll just give a full update on those guys tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that for Jas McCormick and Jose Urquidy. Hopefully, the next Astros to come back from injury. And then potentially later in the season, you can get Luis Garcia back. And I'm not holding my breath on Lance McCullers. Just call his season a wash. Maybe he can contribute in 2025. I just don't. I got nothing else for him the rest of the way. He's just kind of whatever at this point. And I just call it a wash with him. I wish he still wasn't under contract. I like the guy, but he's done for. I just have no hopes for him left, regardless, anyway. So the Astros' next series is going to be a 4-game series against the Oakland A's. So a big chance to gain ground on the 19 and 22 A's right now, in which the A's could, they're down 7-2 in the top of the 6th right now. So the A's, who are 19 and 22 coming into today, could potentially be 19 and 23 after today's games, after today's game against Seattle. So if the A's in a 4-game series are 19 and 23, well, if the Astros were to sweep the A's, who are an improved team coming into this season, and they've shown that so far this season, if you were to sweep the A's, that puts the Astros at 19 and 25, and the A's in a 4-game series, if they lose all 3, pending their outcome today, if they lose to Seattle, that puts the A's at 19 and 27 with, if it lost today, and 4 straight losses to the Astros. So guess what? If you sweep the A's or even take 3 out of 4, if you take 3 out of 4, you're a game back or a game back in the loss column of the A's. Or excuse me, you're 2 games back in the loss column of the A's. And then if you were to sweep the A's, you're tied with the A's in the loss column in the AL West. So I would see a massive series coming up against the A's because the Astros, well, first of all, they need to continue to string some wins together. And then after the series against the A's, you've got the Angels coming up shortly after that on the homestand. You have the Brewers and then the Angels. So a great chance to gain some ground in the division. And they, like I've been saying, have to start stringing wins together anyway. So some big games coming up, especially in the division, the AL West. I've given Jas McCormick and Jose Urquidy updates. The Astros big series coming up against the A's. And unfortunately, no comments during this live stream for me to go to. So the Astros win a big series against the Detroit Tigers, a big, big series win. They improved their record to 15-25. They've won 3 out of 4, including the series finale, which they took from the Yankees. They probably should have taken 2 out of 3 in that series and the one before that against Seattle. But that's another discussion for another day. You can say that about a lot of games this season. They probably should have won. They probably should have won. But here we are at 15-25 through 40 games. I'm expecting you need to win 75 or 80 more to win the division roughly. It's going to be a tough task. I'm not going to lie to you. They know that. The team knows that. The players, the owner, the coaches all know that. I believe they can get it done. The question is, will they get on the roll? It needs to start right now. Today's May 12th. Next game is May 13th tomorrow. So, here from Clark Crawford Sports, signing off of today's live stream, my third ever live stream. I will have more throughout the regular season. But, anyways, they have a big series coming up against the A's. We'll see if they can continue, maybe riding a little bit of momentum, winning 3 out of 4 to the A's series. So signing off here at Clark Crawford Sports, Astros win against the Tigers, a big win today, and maybe they can start stringing together some wins at Minute Maid Park as they open up a 10-game homestand from Monday all the way to the following Wednesday. That'll be the 10-game homestand, and then Thursday is the opt day. That'll do it for me here at Clark Crawford Sports. Thank you all who were able to tune in. I will be posting on social media, sending it out to some people for those who missed my live stream. So thank you. Look out for my Astros versus A's series preview tomorrow. And for me at Clark Crawford Sports, I'll see all of you in my next video and, of course, in my next live stream and the ones coming up after that. See y'all later.